This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba for another technical diving tips, techniques, and trips video. Back before COVID, I did a series of dives off of a charter boat that operated out of the Riviera Beach Marina near West Palm Beach. These were all technical dives in the 200-foot range, and we were quite a ways off the beach. On one of the dives, after we surfaced from our decompression stops, the boat was not in the immediate vicinity and did not respond when we waved our surface marker buoys. There was, however, a small fishing boat about half the distance away. The sun and the small fishing boat just happened to be at the right angle. After about 10 minutes of signaling the fishing boat, it eventually came over and asked if we needed assistance. At that point, our dive boat realized where we were and came over to pick us up. Prior to deploying the signal mirror, we had debated on several different strategies on getting back to the marina. One of those included swimming toward the shore. That probably would have taken the rest of the day, and with the Gulf Stream moving northward, who knows where we would have ended up at. Fortunately, the signal mirror worked, and the story had a happy ending. As you might have guessed, what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be talking about different types of mirrors that have application to scuba diving. So here on the left is the mirror that I used on the dive in the Gulf Stream off of West Palm Beach. And this particular mirror is actually a stainless steel mirror versus a metallized plastic or a glass type mirror, and it has a little securing lanyard that I have a bolt snap to. And on the back side of this mirror, I don't know how well this will come out in the video. There is a little diagram on how to use it, and you'll note that there's a little hole in the center of the mirror that's typical for signal mirrors. And what it does is it assists you with lining up the mirror and your particular object. So the use of the signal mirror is actually somewhat difficult, and I think I demonstrated that from the opening clip of this video, that it is very difficult to hit a small target, and it does require some practice. And if you're actually floating around in the ocean, being bounced around by the waves, is that much more difficult to try to hit a small target. So this stainless steel mirror is actually manufactured by DiveSoft. It's rather expensive, but it is a very durable mirror. So what this leads us to is the fact that there are many other uses for mirrors than just for signaling purposes. And so this particular mirror I have also used for example, doing a bubble check on myself by holding it up and looking at my manifold and my valves when diving back mount doubles. The third use, which is not one that's going to really be applicable to everybody, is if you are leading a dive and you get tired of looking back and you just want to make sure everybody's still swimming with you, then you can use the mirror to check behind you. This is a flat mirror though, and it's not as effective as some of these other mirrors that are out on the market. These two mirrors are actually, this one is actually used on market as a snowmobile mirror that you put around your hand, and you can do this a couple of ways. One way is by doing it like this, and of course the other way is doing it like this. And so when you hold your wrist up, you can see who's behind you. So you have these two types here. I prefer this one because it gives a wider field of view versus this one that's round, but this one is slightly more compact, at least in one of the dimensions. So these are good for that purpose, much better for guiding purposes than a flat mirror because of the ability to see a wider field of view. But these are completely useless for, or at least in my opinion, completely useless for signaling as a signal mirror because of the already difficult process trying to use these to signal somebody. And again, it is the convex lens that aggravates or makes the signaling, use of this as a signaling mirror, that much more difficult. So you do have a couple of options. If you were to only carry one mirror, a mirror like this would probably be the one to carry because it has a lot of utility. The main purpose being the signaling. But these two mirrors here, these can also be used for doing bubble checks in addition to for guiding purposes. So mirrors definitely have a place in the equipment list that any diver, any prepared diver would have. And so I thought I would make this video just to let people know what they could use signal mirrors for. Back to this one, I mentioned that it is difficult to actually use this mirror effectively. So if you do decide to get a signal mirror, I highly encourage you to go out somewhere in a more controlled environment than a body of water when you need it to practice the use of the signaling of the use of the signal mirror. Okay, that's it for this video. And always, this is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.